Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Ed, what's going on, big boy?
Yo, what's going on, Joe? It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. Oh man, it's been a blessing, man. For the last time I seen you, it was in a meeting, right? NA meeting. Last time I
Yeah,
seen you,
that's right.
and yeah, it was pretty. And this I connected with this guy, Ed, man. It was from the first time. For the first time I seen him, we connected. We sat down next to each other, man, and I knew there was something with this guy that I knew was going to reconnect again down the line, man. And that time too, man. I just came to Albany. You just came to Albany, back to Albany.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, you're right. You just came back to Albany and was both just getting our life back together,
Yeah, pretty
right?
much that's what the rooms is about. Um,
Yeah.
my life has been a complete roller coaster, and that's mainly because I've spent a large amount of my life using. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I'm sober, right, and clean and actually in recovery, working the steps, things of that nature, my life is so much better. I can't even begin to describe the difference, okay? But what I can do is I can give you my story, and it's a really brief one. Um, I got three older sisters and a twin brother. My father died when I was two. My mother never remarried, so I was raised by my mother and three older sisters. Now, when I was born, again, I was a twin, and we were the first males in the family, okay? I don't know what it is about twins, but usually one is a little healthier than the other. That was me. My brother was always in and out of the hospital, real sickly. So my sisters, it appeared to me that they could not stand us, okay? Because a lot of the attention came to us as the babies and twins, right?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
So some of the things that they would do, as far as ostracizing me, and they just wasn't very nice. I'll put it that way. Okay. So I learned at an early age to stay away from them because they hurt. Okay. Um, around the age of 9, older male started hanging around the family, right? And I clung to him because it was a male. I was nothing but females in my family. He was much older, and at 9 years old, he handed me a joint to smoke with him. Now, I had virgin lungs. I've never smoked before. All I knew was that it's drugs and it can actually
Yeah.
kill me. This is what I'm thinking, but I didn't want to disappoint him because I
Yeah.
wanted his friendship.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I took a drag of this weed, man. Yo, my throat was burning so bad because I had virgin lungs, and he handed me a half a glass of water to soothe my throat, which I drunk down greedily, right? Because my throat was burning, only to find out it was vodka. All right. The
And what age was this
whole,
again? What age?
huh?
What age?
9.
9. Drinking vodka at 9 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
Like
shit.
a quarter of a glass. I just gulped it down to soothe my burning throat from the weed that he gave me. So now
Yeah.
everything is spinning, right? I feel like I got to throw up the whole 9 yards. And he started molesting me.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember you telling me this. I remember telling the story. I remember
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
That went
Yeah.
on for years. Okay. When I was 10, this same individual took me to a motel where there was three older gentlemen waiting there. And I was scared to death because they was full of tattoos. They had cut off vest jackets like they was a part of some motorcycle gang, right? And to make a short story shorter, they basically did what they wanted to me. Okay.
Mm.
When one of them had just got done doing what he did to me, he told me to lick the the shit and blood off of his private, and I threw up. Okay. When I threw up, he blackened both my eyes and made my nose bleed. I was 10. All right. I don't have to tell you,
Um.
like most people in similar situations, they tend to like reach out for salvation by telling somebody. I didn't. I didn't tell a soul. So it's like I had to endure that relentless ride of emotional turmoil a lot longer than I should have. Okay. My life was a complete mess. I hated myself for the things I've done, things I allowed to have done to me. And all I wanted to do was use to medicate. All right. So my life from that point on for years after that was about the getting, using, and finding ways and means to get more. Okay? I can remember roaming the streets 3, 4 in the morning, willing to do anything just to get one more. Okay? I'm going to fast forward and I'm going to bring you all the way up to 2014, 2013, 2014. And I found myself in a small town called Troy, New York. Okay? Now, what was weird about this town was it seemed like everything closed around the same time. And it would just be one store open up on Hoosick Street. It was a Hess gas station. Okay? Now, while I was in Troy, I met this older woman. She must have been about 20 years older than me. And I knew what she wanted. And she just wanted a good screw, right? And I needed someplace to live.
He said a good screw.
So I laid that down on her. I laid the pipe game down on her. And it worked out just fine, like a rabbit foot, right? She moved me right in. She was feeding me, washing my clothes, the whole 9 yards. But my true love was the drugs. So she wasn't complaining at first. Well, I would run the streets 2 and 3 days straight and then come back in, needing a shower, things of that nature. She wouldn't be mad or anything. But that got old fast, okay, because she demanded more of my time, but the drugs did too, okay? So she gave me an ultimatum. She told me either I stop using or I have to leave. So I said to her, will it be okay if I come back and pick up the bulk of my stuff? Okay? Because I'm going to get high. Right?
Yeah, I hear that.
So I took a knapsack, one of those nap carrying bags. And I put the things that I need in that. And now from that point on, Joe, I'm homeless. Okay? I'm literally living in the streets in Troy. Okay? So now what I would do is, throughout the course of the day, I would save any change that I got a hold of. If I bought a Lucy and they gave me a quarter change, I would hold that quarter. So when 3, 4 in the morning came and I got hungry and I walked up to that gas station, I can buy something because the police hung out up there because it was the only store open. So I knew if I went up there with no money and tried to steal, I would get arrested. So I was smart enough to hold this change throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One day, I'm on 06 Ave. There's a guy, he got some crack. This crack reminded me of the 80s. I'm talking about the hit that have your eyes seeing blurry, you can't speak, you drooling, the whole 9 yards, right? So he tells me he's not taking no shorts. So I told him I got change. He said, gimme. So I gave him all my change, right? 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning came like it always does. Now I have no change to go up to that store on Hoosick. So I get this idea. Let me see if I can find something in the garbage, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking up 7th Ave. There's a big pile of garbage out, and there's a pizza box sitting on top of a Glad bag. So I'm walking towards this pizza box. Now, as I'm approaching it, a car turns the corner behind me. Its headlights wash across my back and the houses to my right. I didn't want them to see me eating out the garbage. So I walked past it, right? When the car went by, I turned around, grabbed the pizza box, opened it. I felt like my prayers was answered. There was like 2 pieces of half-eaten pizza and about 5 crusts, right? I ate that and then got this really bright idea to fuck saving change. I can use that to get high. Just eat out the garbage, right? Yeah. It says in the basic text, things become less important and more impossible. It says we reduce to the animalistic level, okay? And when I think about what I was doing, how I was living my life, it was just like an animal. Because raccoons, skunks, rats, dogs, cats, squirrels, birds, they eat out the garbage. And this is what I was doing, okay? I've reduced to the animalistic level. And I reached the point where you could be standing next to the garbage and I'll walk up and say, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. It fell.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good, buddy.
Let me see if I can pick it up without it going off.
It's all good, man.
Okay. You could be standing next to the garbage.
Yeah.
And I would say, excuse me, and start tearing the bags open. So it was less important to me that you've seen me and more impossible for me to stop. You see where this addiction took me? So now I get arrested, right? Well,
Yeah.
you might say rescued, right? For
Yes.
stealing something from a store, some stupid shit that I was trying to sell, like body wash or something dumb like that. The people got tired of me stealing their shit, so they really pressed charges. So they took me to Albany County, right? When
Yeah.
I get to Albany County, they take my clothes, they give me this orange jumpsuit, right? All they had was a 5X. I was about 157 pounds in this 5X orange jumpsuit. It was short sleeve, fit me like a long sleeve shirt. I got the pants rolled all up. I'm swimming around the jail in this big.
You coming back, Ed? I think we lost Ed. I think we lost Ed for a second. Should be patient. We'll be right back. Ed, can you hear me, Ed? Ed's having some difficulties. Ed's having some difficulties. Ed's having some difficulties with his quarter. There he is. We got Ed back. Ed, we got you back, Ed. There you go, Ed. We see you. We see you, Ed. Oh, we lost him again. He's gonna come back. We got faith in Ed. We got faith in him. He's definitely gonna come back. We gotta be patient. We gotta be patient. Ed, we see you, Ed. I see you, Ed. I see you, but I can't hear you. Oh. We got Ed. Ed, we got Ed. Oh, can we see Ed? I see you, Ed. Hey guys, we all. Not everything's always gonna be perfect at all times, man. This is what things we go through in life, man. Appreciate you guys being here, sticking through this. Ed has a story, and we're gonna listen to Ed's story. Ed is officially gone. Ed is officially gone. Why is that lady? Why is that happening? Ed is gone. Ed is gone. Ed is gone.
I got to get up 6 again tomorrow morning.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we got him back. I told you guys, be patient. Be patient. Ed will be back. We got him back. Let's go. See? Never give up.
I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna continue where I stopped.
Never give up, man. See, I was telling everybody we was sitting here, was waiting and waiting and waiting. I said, listen, we're not gonna give up. Ed'll be back, and Ed's back. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right. So I ends up in Albany County Jail, and I'm thinking like this. I'm gonna do whatever time they give me. It's only a misdemeanor, and then I'll get out and just continue doing what I'm doing. But God had another plan for me. So I went to court, and they decided to give me drug court. So I said, okay, cool. I'm saying to myself, I can get out even sooner to do what I want to do, right? All right, so I go to drug court. They made us go to meetings. This was my introduction to meetings. When I get to the NA meeting, there's a guy standing up talking, and he's telling everything that I did in my life as far as drugs, right? I couldn't believe it. But he looked so good, Joe. He was clean. Yeah. You could smell his cologne from where I was sitting. He had jewelry on, the whole 9 yards. So his experience and strength gave me hope. Because I said, if he's been through what I've been through and he's where he's at, I can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I bought into the program. I started taking the suggestions I didn't use, got a sponsor, started working the steps. And it wasn't long before I was up there talking. See, here's how it works. You eventually talk to somebody when you're clean about needing a job. They tell you where to go get one. You go. They give you a urine test. It's clean because you're not using, and you get the job. And this is what happened. So now I'm working a decent job. I'm clean. I'm up there telling my experiences like that guy, right? And I'm looking out over the audience, and I can't believe my life and how it changed from just not using. Okay. Then I got what they call a grandiose attitude. Okay. Because females started paying attention to me now. I got real jewelry on, not that stuff that turn your neck green, right?
Yeah.
I got a vehicle, I got money in the bank, and I'm thinking it's all about me. When I walked into meetings, it felt like I have arrived in my mind, right?
Yeah.
So then I said to myself, I don't need these meetings anymore. I'm not going to use again. That was my first mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I started risky behaviors, hanging with people that was using things of that nature, and it wasn't long before I picked up again. And when I picked up this time, it landed me in prison with an attempted murder charge that I did a whole lot of years for, and that's when I met you.
Me?
Right.
Me.
But when I got arrested, Joe, I made a decision then not to use again. And I have not used since then. So I have some years clean. Okay, it's coming up on 7 years now. And that includes cigarettes and coffee.
No, you're not drinking coffee no more?
No, I left everything alone. I couldn't stop the cigarettes unless I left the coffee alone.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Now, it's crazy, though, because the last meeting I went to, they was talking about making amends, right? And I thought about something I did, Joe. When I tell you this, man, I can't believe what I did, and it's like, how could I make an amends? This was in the early stages of me using, right? And I just caught a Rikers Island bid. I did about 4 months. So when I came home, I'm looking better than a body has a right to, okay?
A body has a right to. Good shit.
I get right to it the day I get released. I don't even go home to my mother, okay? So now I'm running the streets for like 3 days straight. I had to take a steak knife and stick a hole in my belt because I started losing so much weight. So I ran into this Jamaican girl, kind of heavy set, but I knew she was trying to catch. She didn't know I got high because I didn't look like it. Right? So I allowed myself to be caught. So I go to her house, right? Took a shower. She fed me. I laid the dick on her, right? And I fell asleep like a newborn. Because I was running for days, you know?
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning, she was gone. She left me a note saying what time she'll be home from work and told me that my breakfast was in the toaster oven. So I ate. I smoked the Newport clip I had, and now I want to hit because I'm rested.
Yeah.
So I took the piece of stem I had, and I scraped that thing to the point where it was clear like a window, right?
Yeah.
And I pushed the screen up with all that black shit I scraped, and I lit it. Joe, it was just enough to get me started, right? So I said, all I'm going to take is her VCR, right?
I don't mean to laugh, man, but it just sounds funny.
Do you know, I ended up cleaning this woman's entire apartment out. I sold her bedroom set, her living room set, her kitchen set. The only thing that was left was a pile of clothes in her bedroom in the corner. I had the dealer with his wife and kids running through the apartment, picking out the things that they want. Now, the crazy thing about this was she had a parakeet in the hallway, right? In a cage. And he was watching me go back and forth selling her shit, right? So when I ran out of shit to sell, I looked at the parrot.
Oh, man. He goes to parrot.
Yeah. And I took and sold him to a Spanish lady. But it's like, how could I make amends to this woman? I've never seen her again in my life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's something that haunts me.
She's probably going to see this video, man.
Oh, boy.
She's probably going to see this video like, yeah, that's him.
Oh, my God.
She's probably gonna see this video. If you do hit this video, I know where he lives at. I know his number. And listen, come at me, and I'll find him for you. Just, for a small fee, give me $10.
Listen,
I'll tell you where he's at.
I can honestly say at this point, just from being in recovery and staying clean, I could replace everything that I took from her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And some.
And some.
Yeah.
And some. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, man, Ed, I know when I met you, man, that we was both like in our come up, man. And I know you was in and out. You was little. I remember you being like not too for sure what was going to happen in your life. I know you was like, I don't know about this job, and I don't know about this, and I remember like a month or two later that I know when you called me, you gave me a phone call and said, Joe, I got the job, man. I got the job, and I can remember hearing your excitement from you getting that job, man. And right from there, that's where it took off.
Hey, Joe, check this out. When we met, I was in a shelter.
Yeah, you was in a shelter.
Because when I got released, I had no support, so I went straight to the shelter. Now, from that shelter, it took me 2 months to get the job and an apartment that I'm in now, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that shelter just contacted me day before yesterday to hire me as a second job overnighter staff?
Look at that. Look how God works, man. Look how life works, man. As long as you can stay consistent, man, and you work for what you want, man, you don't always have to be stuck in one spot. You choose. I can't say you choose to be in one spot, but when you go over that hump and you find yourself, what do you call it? What's the word? What's a good word for it? Plenty of opportunity ahead of you? I don't know. What's a good word for it?
Well, I don't know exactly what word you're looking for, but what I do know is this. When you put your best foot forward and you allow your higher power to guide you, right, things work out for the best.
Amen.
That's where I'm at right now. I rely on my higher power and I put my best foot forward. I don't use one day at a time. I make meetings and I associate with people who don't use. Okay? It mentions a spiritual awakening in the lessons. And in the lessons, it talks about there's something in common with a spiritual awakening. And what it is the loneliness seems to dissipate. It's like you develop a strong sense of empathy for other people. You're concerned about others. You want to help them. These are like common threads when you have a spiritual awakening. So it's like where I'm at now, I don't do risky behaviors. I have a positive attitude about things, and all of that's from not using. That's the bottom line. That's where it started.
Awesome, man. That's deep, man. That's real deep, man. Well, man, listen, man. I know for a fact. I know for a fact that someone has probably learned a lot of shit from what you said. Because I get people on my podcast, and some of them like beat around the bush, but you kept it funky and you kept it straight up and you kept it real. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a lot more people that's going to keep it real, like you kept it real, because the shit that we've been through was fucking real. There was no sugarcoating shit. There's no hiding shit. We've been through it, and this is what this platform is about. It's about getting it out, getting that message out, letting other people know that it's okay to take accountability. It's okay to share your story. It's okay to be open about who you are, and who you who you were before, and who you are now. But I appreciate you, coming on this podcast and sharing your story, sharing where you was and sharing where you're at now. I just have one question before we end this podcast. Ed, to a person right now that's sick, suffering, stressed out, depressed, thinking their life is over, what kind of positive encouragement can you say to someone right now that's listening to just to boost them up for?
Well, what I would say to them is to pray.
Pray?
Okay, because prayer is very important. Okay, a lot of people didn't grasp the significance of prayer when it comes to my higher power. Okay, and it's something that's super important. I know my experiences, all the degrading, embarrassing, and I'm just talking demoralizing things that I've done, I've found out is my greatest access to helping others. Because
Yeah.
people hear it and they've been through it, but too embarrassed to talk about it until they hear me share it.
So I'm just saying. So I'm not gonna let Ed get away with this. I feel like because Ed's a smart man. Ed's a smart guy. Listen, Ed, there's somebody right now that's listening to you that think that their life is over with. Save their life right now and give them something. Save a life right now, Ed. Save a life right now with some positive encouragements to say that life is worth living. Come on, Ed. I ain't letting Ed get away with that little shortcut. Come on, Ed.
Yeah, I want you to do it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to let my daughter answer that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really know what to say. I'm too awkward. But
No, go ahead.
for the person that's going through it, I went through it something similar, like even overdosing in the hospital and all that type of stuff because I didn't feel like my life was worth it. But I realized life is like a song. Like that bad song, that pain that you're going through, it's not going to last. It only lasts for a certain time, and then happiness comes again. So no matter how much pain that you're going through, you know that you can bounce back.
Hmm.
And even if you got to cry, feel lonely, lash out, scream, after all that, you got to pick yourself back up and get to where you want to be truly.
There you are. Nice. There was nothing awkward about that, man. Nothing awkward about saving somebody's life. Ain't nothing. That shit was real shit. That was real shit. With that being said, man, thank you to the daughter, thank you to Ed. Listen, I'm Joey. I'm the creator of Joey Baxter Recovery. Ed, it's a blessing meeting you. It's a blessing still being in your life, man. Listen, man, keep up the good work. Listen, man, I know you just told me your birthday today. Happy birthday. But I ain't
Thank
believing
you.
it. I'm not believing you're 59, though. Maybe like 49, not 59.
Nah,
This
I
man's
feel,
lying.
I feel like I'm 106. But yeah, it was good
listen,
talking to you, bro. I just
Yes,
did a
sir.
12-hour shift, too, so I'm super
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, get your rest, man. Thank you so much for being on the show, man. We appreciate you. Listen, guys, for people that's listening, listen, man, I love you. Ed loves you. God definitely loves you. Remember to pray.
And my
night.
daughter loves you. All right?